So here we have our updated template here. We've got all of our graphics running, and we have this this lovely video running in the background with the taxis. And if we take a look at the inner pages, we can see that we have our background image and all of our color changes. Now obviously the graphics, we need to update those, the images, but we can see here that how this template runs and how that file that we created with the background, how it really adds a nice theme to the entire site and allows it to all be consistent. So the next thing that we're going to do is, if you see here we've got this little icon here that shows, then we're going to change this, and we're also going to change the iPhone icon, and I'll show you why that's important now on my tablet and phone devices. So we can see here on the mobile version that we haven't updated the logo yet, so it's still showing the Motion logo. But somebody might want to add this site to their home screen on their phone. So if I click on the home screen on the share button here on my phone, and I click on Add to Home Screen, I get this little icon here. Now, and I get the ability to add text. Now that is showing the icon from the Motion template. So what we want to do is we want to update this icon here and this icon here. So we're going to need to create those. So let's jump over and create those so that we can update them. And we're going to update the rest of the site as well. In our Assets folder for the Motion package, we can see our Fave icon here, and we can see our iPhone icon. Now the Fave icon shows on the browser, and this is the icon that shows when you try and add the site to the home screen. So these are the files that we want to update. I'm going to right click on this file, and I'm going to open this with Photoshop. So we have our graphic there, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to jump into Muse. Now you could do this any way that you wanted to, but this is how I'm going to do it, and I'm going to open up the home page. So in the home page here I can see this icon, this logo here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to use Jing, which is a screen capture piece of software. You could use any software you like. This is just the one that I use. I'm going to click on capture here, and I'm going to copy this logo. I've made it in Muse, it's already there, so I might as well use that. So I'm going to capture it, and then I'm going to use the copy option here, and then I'm going to go into Photoshop, and let's paste it in place. Great, that's in there. Fill this area now. We can, if we just go to the fill here, if you're familiar with Photoshop, and just fill that. So there we have our taxi logo there. I'm just going to move this to place a bit. There we go, that will be fine. File, save for web, save, and then I'm going to save it out into the phone icon there. I'm going to replace that and do that once again. File, save for web, and save it onto the Fave icon as well. So that's all updated. So next we're going to swap out the image in the files here. Now we're back in Muse. If we go to our plan view and we right click on the page properties here, we can see that the graphic, the Fave icon graphic that's here, needs to be removed, and then we're going to add the new one, which is our Fave icon one here. Click OK. And we just want to make sure that we do that for all of the pages. So we would want to, at least the home page here, we would want to make sure that that's correct. And we want to go into our tablet and phone versions and do exactly the same process. Page properties, update the thumbnail. Now the reason we have to do that across all of those is because if the old icon is remaining in any of the other templates, it does have a tendency to overwrite it with the old one. So we want to make sure we've gone right through our site and changed it on all of them. So I'm going to also now go into our tablet view here, and actually I'm going to go back to our desktop, and I'm going to grab this here and go into our tablet view here. One thing we do want to make sure in the tablet version is that we also add some scroll motion here, because if you notice that the menu here has got scroll motion switched on, and this is so that we can make sure that this menu pins to the head of the page. So on this logo that we've just brought in, we're just going to select it, and we're going to select that motion scroll is on and everything to 0, and that will just keep it in place when the page scrolls. In the phone version here, we're going to open up our master page here, and we actually have the drop down menu sitting over the top of the graphics area here. So let's just move that up. We're going to use the keyboard to move that up just so it's nice and neat, and we are going to take this header and select it to a fill of 100, and then we're going to bring our taxi logo in. Don't need any motion scroll here, so we're just going to bring this nicely into place. And if you notice, we've used it, once we've created the logo, we've used it for the icon, everything. So we've done a lot of the actual design work in Muse, and we've only used Photoshop for a very small part of it. So that's back in place now. That will update all of our thumbnails here. So just to recap what we've done here, we've swapped out the icons for the iPhone, we've swapped out the favicon, we've altered the logo in the tablet version and added some scroll motion so that the navigation stays at the top of the page, and we've also modified the phone version. So now we are ready to republish the site. So I'm going to hit publish, and we will take a look at all the changes we've made. Now you'll notice that we have all of our different versions here. We have our phone, our tablet, and our desktop version, and we can see that the icon has sure enough been updated. The favicon has been updated on the desktop version. Now the tablet version, as we've stated before about the videos, doesn't run the video, so that's where we've got our screen grab, our thumbnail image that we created when we were doing the videos, to run in the background. But the great thing with this now is if we click on our share button on the phone here, on the tablet and on the phone here, I'm going to click on add to home screen. We can see on both of these devices we have a nice taxi icon that we created. So we'll just click in there and type in taxi, and that'll add to the home screen. And again on the phone we'll just type in taxi, and that will add to our phone. And this is a great way of marketing your product, because especially with iOS devices, by creating the icon on the home screen, it creates kind of like an app experience. So when the person has that on there, they click on the icon and it takes them straight into the site. So it's a really good idea to do that, and it's very easy to modify. So the next section is we're going to take a look at modifying some of the content in the template as well.